Okay, so why does they, child, listen, they pulled out that flag and nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on. And then old Wendy. And you mean to tell us you knew because of what? It wasn't them degrees? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 5, episode 14. Listen, the flag. We're going to talk about it anyway. Let's start here though. Gizelle and Robin. Gizelle and Robin actually met up. And the first thing that happened, they went to this little restaurant that Gizelle had said that she wanted to take her girls to this restaurant, but she couldn't get a reservation. But for whatever reason, Real Housewives of Potomac was able to pull it off, and she got this reservation. So her and Robin goes, and they go and have lunch at this here little restaurant. Cute little restaurant. Little. It was a little restaurant. It was a little tight little thing. You know, usually them little restaurants like that, that's real tight like that, maybe the food is usually phenomenal. But anyway, is reality TV getting too real? Because we all know that it's supposed to kind of like the cameras are supposed to follow you, and it's just your regular, you know, it's what you do day to day. But is it getting too real? This is something I kind of, and I'm going to go off topic a little bit, but I've been noticing it a lot when I'm watching different shows that it seems it goes off where people are starting to talk to production while they're recording. The whole thing of reality TV, see, because everybody can't do it. Everybody cannot do reality TV. Everybody's not equipped to film. And it's not just the fact of it being in your business and you being nervous. That's one part of it. But the other part is there is a skill to being able to be filmed doing what you normally do and pretending that the camera is not there. You understand? There's always a skill set that's hidden that the outside world is not privy to. Like I sit here and I talk to a camera and I'm talking to you like I'm really talking to you, and ain't a damn soul there. I'm literally talking to like a blank, just a blank room. And a lot of time, I used to, first off, when I had to do an acting reel, I was like, oh, I don't act. I don't know what I do. You know, I don't act. What am I going to do with this? How am I going to pull this off? Yeah, James, you do act. You do. I'm a whole drag queen out in these streets. What is it that you think you're doing when you're going through these songs? You're not really singing. So you're lip syncing. All of that is just a form of acting. So, like I said all of that to say this. There is a skill set to everything that everybody does. There's a skill set to reality TV. There is something about pretending that the cameras are not there. Everybody can't do it. And everybody can't do it well. So, are we getting to the point where reality TV has gotten too real to where people are looking at the camera, they talking to production? Then the drama gets so high sometimes they start talking shit to production, right? While they filming the scenes. Is it getting too real? And what brought me to that on this episode was when Gizelle told Robin, girl, I done forgot my shoes. I forgot my shoes. Now, in real life, you ain't going to forget your shoes. You are not going to a restaurant in slippers. Not in real life. But when you go to film a scene and there's possibly a trailer there, or a room set aside where you're getting dressed and on. See, in that instance, you can forget your shoes. So is it reality's getting too damn real? That just, for some reason, that just stroked my whole being. I was like, getting too real. Getting too real. And speaking of real, this right here, I really like it. I think it's cute. This came to me in my P.O. box from my sweet, 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 talented friend who is on here. He really is one of the treasurer children as well that you all don't actually see. He's one of the children that sit on the porch, but he sits very quietly on the porch. Why be the kid? You all see him in the chat a lot of times, but he's not with the rah-rah. He doesn't get into any type of, the beefing or anything like that. He's a very quiet treasurer child, but he definitely is a treasurer lane child. Love him to death, and he is uber talented. He does a whole lot of different stuff, child. He can do music, he models, he films, and he acts, and he does a whole gamut of stuff. You know, my kind of fella. So just love him to death, and he did this. I knew nothing about it. I looked up, and boom, there it was. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, baby. Mwah! But really cute. TV. Anyway, that's real. I really, really love it. Thank you. Anyway, let's go on. So is it getting too real? Moving on. Oh, Wendy. Wendy and Gizelle had a conversation. Now, Gizelle was gossiping, telling Robin about the conversation. That's no big deal because, Robin and Gizelle like this, so they talk about everything. In the midst of it, they're talking about where the whole situation with Karen getting drunk on that little trip they were on and how they were in the basement, and she was talking about Ray and how she had basically given up like half her money to help Ray bail himself out of that little situation, that little financial situation. And how Karen was basically kind of drunk and in her feelings, and she was saying she wanted her money back. So Wendy then went and spilled this to Gizelle. At the time, they showed the clip. They showed the clip because we didn't see it. But like they didn't air it, but here we go. Like a confessional moment, but it was a clip. Where's Wendy sitting there talking to Gizelle, and she asked Gizelle, are you going to tell Karen what we talked about? And Gizelle sat there and said no. Now, you the first lady of what? You said you the most anointed one there. You're the first lady of what, Gizelle? Confusion and lies? Is that it, sis? You the first lady of confusion and lies? Girl, you gonna bust hell wide open telling them lies. You knew when you told that woman that you weren't going to repeat what y'all were talking about. Your ass is shady, and you knew you was going to repeat it. You knew you were going to repeat it. So anyway, Karen ends up showing up for this little luncheon, and child, you knew. I'm sitting there, I was waiting. I said, let's see how long it'll take her before she segues right on over, honey, and tells that little situation. First thing she did was tells Rob, they talk about Robin's little business. Now, you know her business is called Embellish. That's her hats and her little accessories business. She comes and says, what's the name of the business again, Robin? Embezzled? Oh, no. Oh, Embellished. Can I tell you how much I cannot stand a narcissistic heifer that does stuff like that? I don't like that. That's a very bad trait that some people possess. I know some folks who really do that. I know, and it's an entertainer that came to mind just then, right away. And we used to be really close. And what she would do, she's a complete narcissist. She's a complete narcissist. One of the first people that I've actually met who was that narcissistic like that, to where I started to learn what a narcissist was and how they operate, was this person. We were good friends. And eventually, we stopped being friends for some of these reasons. That stuff started to get on my nerves, and I just walked on away from her. But y'all know that's my thing, honey. I'll just walk right on away from your ass. But anyway, you are an MC for a show. That's one of her claims to fame. Oh, I MC. She loves the MC shows. Yet, you never can get people's name right. If it has to do with some type of a business venture that they have, you always get it wrong. And then it's always when, and it's no coincidence that it's always when it's something that they do that you do as well. You always say it wrong. You do it on purpose, bitch, because that's who you are. I don't like stuff like that. Stuff like that. Now, that type of stuff gets right up in my crawl, honey, and makes me want to punch you in your mouth. But I would watch her do this, and it was always any queen that, that was just, who gives a darn, she'd say their name right if she chose to. But another queen, somebody that was a competition, she was always going to do something wrong, quote a date wrong, something, just, And here's a perfect example, and I'm going to leave it alone. Her and I, we both own pageants, okay? Now, keep in mind, me and this person talk at least 3-4 times a week. We used to, at least 3-4 times a week. You tell me why I had a pageant. My pageant was actually called Miss Global. But every time you say it, you want to keep calling it Miss Globe. Petty stuff like that. That is petty and narcissistic. It's a thing of you don't care about none of the details if you're not involved. Yet, if you ever say anything off about her stuff, baby, she will have a complete fit. A complete fit. Say the wrong song. If she's being introduced, say the wrong song. They say the wrong song coming on. Maybe she'll have a fit. Might not even go out on stage. Have a fit. Yet, you'll sit around, you'll fuck up people's names. And any type of business venture or upcoming bookings and stuff they have, if it has something to do with something that you're not involved with, it was like a guarantee. She's going to screw it up. She's going to misquote it. And people, they would notice it. They'd be like, oh, child. And it can't be until they'd be like, that dumb bitch. But they wouldn't say it to her. That's what they would give her, that dumb bitch. But it was. She's not dumb. She wasn't dumb. She's very smart. Very smart drag queen. But she was a narcissistic bitch. That's all it was. That is very much Gizelle. See, I done went up on the soapbox, child, and I done went all the way left. But whatever. This is my review. This is how I do it. Sometimes I go off left. But anyway, Gizelle did that. That whole thing embezzle. You know good and goddamn well, Gizelle, she ain't start no business and called it embezzle. Stop playing. Quit playing, heifer. So I ain't like that. That was real shady, but that's Gizelle. Anyway, let me get down off my soapbox, but boom, bam, and I'm back. Anyway, so that was that. And then Karen told, Robin, she said, girl, I care for you, and I just want to make sure you're okay. I heard about the whole tax thing in the blogs and that. Robin's like, oh, no problem, Karen. Thank you for asking. Boom, boom, boom. She told her, yeah, I got it under control. This is what I did. She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, okay. Of course, I got you. Same thing that basically happened to Ray. That goddamn Gizelle used that just as nice as a segue so she can go right on into that. Now, Karen, what you did was ugly because you denied that you said it. You weren't that drunk to where you don't know what you said. You said it. You said it. And then you denied it, and you know Bravo Andy, honey. Shady, shady, honey. Played that beautiful bean footage, honey, of you drunk and saying it. And you denied the resentment. You denied that you resented. No, you said it. You said it and you meant it, honey, and you really do want your money back. I don't know that you really want your money back, but I think you really resented having to give your money to Ray. You know, a drunk mouth does speak a sober mind. Those are the rules. That is what happens. Don't say nothing to me when you're drunk and think that you're going to eat it back up, baby, because I will stop you dead in your tracks. Don't backpedal and pussy pop, honey. If you were drunk and you said it, you meant it. And I will deal with you accordingly. I don't play them games. You can't blame it on the alcohol. Not with me. Blame it on the alcohol. Might get you hit with the bottle. But anyway, moving on. So let's go over here and let's talk about this little thing. Here's another little thing. Here I go. I'm going to go back over my soapbox again. Something that I noticed. That term, baby girl. Baby girl. Some people think that it's cute and it sounds cute to say. Especially when they're like an older woman talking to a younger woman. Just say, oh, baby girl, so forth and so on and so on. And it could be cute and endearing. But then, I'm going to tell you when it's not cute nor endearing. When a younger woman says baby girl to an older woman, and the people I'm talking about is Karen and Wendy. Because if you ever noticed, Karen uses that as a term of endearment, and she will say baby girl, but she does. You ever notice she doesn't say it to Robin, she doesn't say it to Gizelle, because them some old bitches. They're not young to where baby girl will be cute or endearing. She does say it to Monique, and she says it to Candace and Ashley, because they're younger women. You know, they're nowhere near her age. They're younger, and it's in a term of endearment. But she will also get you together with that baby girl. But if you piss her off, she doesn't use baby girl. This is Karen's thing, baby, which I love. It's so bitchy, honey. Which thing? Let me tell you something, young woman. Young woman, not young lady. Young woman. That's what she's getting you together. Like last week when she got Candace together. She told her, listen here, young woman, honey. And she got her right on together. But when Wendy and Karen have gotten into a little kerfuffle, I noticed that Wendy will try to say that baby girl shit to Karen. And for me, I don't know if you all notice this or even agree, but you can tell me whether you do or you don't. I really want to know. Do you agree? It is the equivalent of saying, listen here, bitch. But you know, Wendy's supposed to be so highbrow. She would never say that to Karen. Well, not get away with it. But when I hear baby girl coming from Wendy, when she's talking to Karen, because you know they don't really like each other, for me, it always rings in my ear as bitch. Not a term of endearment. Not endearing at all. It really does. As soon as I hear her say baby girl, my mind always registered, listen here, bitch. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm getting down off of it again. Boom, 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 bam, and I'm back. Okay, listen here. So we're over there, and we're dealing with Wendy. She's over there. We see her getting her kids together for school and all of this stuff and all of this. So speaking of resentment, Wendy really does have a resentment about that whole thing, about her culture and how what she's doing reflects on her mom and how she can't actually go and do the things that she really wants to do because it will mess up her mother's social existence. I have spoke on it several times since this season started, and I have an issue with it. I do. I have an issue with it. I don't think it's right. I think it's ridiculous. But again, I mean, it's Nigerian culture. There's nothing I can do about it but respect it and move on. I'm not Nigerian, so it really doesn't change my life one way or the other. But I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. Wendy is Nigerian, and she can say what she wants, but she thinks it's ridiculous too, and she doesn't like it, but she's stuck in it, and she loves her mother, so she's just going to stay there with it. But it's horrible, and it looks horrible, and there's resentment, and I can see it through the show. She keep mentioning it, and we keep going through it like every episode, just about. And then I noticed she's changing it. She's not, she actually made reference to the fact that she ain't doing that with her kids. She doing that with her kids. And she spoke about it, she's changed some of the things with her boys. So I could just imagine, I'm sure she's going to do that with her girl. She's changing it. You got some issues with it, and you really do resent being stuck in it. Now for that, I feel sorry for her because I do think it's ridiculous. But anyway, let's move on. Ashley had an appointment with the counselor. And I don't know an easier way to say that. Well, one, listen. She's in the midst of postpartum depression. I'm not trying to diagnose her. It is just what I see. That's postpartum that she actually is dealing with. I feel really bad for her because the postpartum, women deal with it, and you're really strong to actually pull yourself out of it because it's really not a joke. Postpartum is not just a thing. It's a real thing, and it's not a joke. And you are a strong woman to pull yourself up out of it with or without counseling. You are to be celebrated for getting through that. Postpartum is rough. It's rough. And anybody that I've ever heard talk about having it or dealing with it is always a very rough thing. Now, I've dealt with a newborn baby as a single male parent. I know how difficult that is. I know what the sleep deprivation, and I had a 3.5-year-old at the same time. I know what the sleep deprivation and all that stuff feels like and how that works, and working and running a business and all that. It's a lot. So that, and then I couldn't even imagine going through that. And then coupled with my body doing changes and things like that. And then, because it's your body and your mental are being twisted like a pretzel while you are doing this, when you're going through postpartum. I can't even imagine. So I'm going to say this again, because there's some people will be saying, you ain't even got no business talking about it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Because one, this is my channel and this is my review. Two, like I said, I've been a single parent with 2 small children, one of them being a newborn baby. And I know the rough time I had. And I'm saying, I can't say I know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. I know the rough time that I went through. And then I'm saying, coupled with everything else, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. And any woman that goes through that and makes it out on the other side and is okay, you are to be celebrated. It is a real thing. And I don't think that people really do. I think that people hear it so much that they think it's just so common. Everything common ain't easy. So, hats off to all the women out there who have battled with postpartum or are battling presently with postpartum. My hat's off to you, sis. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. And that's what I'm seeing for Ashley. Y'all know I don't even see it for Ashley. Don't really like her too much, but I feel really bad for her. And see, on top of her postpartum and being a new mother, she has Michael to deal with. And Michael isn't helping. Michael's behavior and his neediness and his bullshit seems to be making her postpartum and her experience even worse. The only thing it seems that makes her happy is just the baby. Thank goodness, because I know sometimes people have resentment about the baby and sometimes don't even like the baby, when they are going through postpartum. They be looking at the baby like, child, you know what? Little boy or little girl? Ooh. So, little Dean actually makes her happy, thank God. There's some silver lining in that cloud she's dealing with. But what I was hearing her say is basically when it comes to this stuff and her and Michael, she feels like a fuck toy. And I don't know no nicer way to say it. She feels like a fuck toy. She's not getting any pleasure out of whenever she does, because she's having issues with having sex and all of that stuff. And then whenever she does go through with it, she's having issues where she's not getting any pleasure out of it all. That's a horrible thing. And it sounds like a very horrible place to be. So, yeah, I feel bad for old Ashley. But that's what I got out of that whole scene. It's pretty sad. Moving on. Something nice and happy. Candace. Candace was there. The record sounds really good. And the guy actually asked her about signing with his record label. And we got some actual tears that really meant something for a change. So I was really, really happy for her. That was really nice. That's, anybody, that's a dream. And she explained how she was part of a girl group and they were getting ready to be signed, but the deal was crap and all of that. So this has like come full circle. I thought it was really cute. It was a really good moment. I'm glad it was actually caught on tape. So she'll actually always have that, to relive. That was really, really cool. I died though when the guy said, they're going to do a toast, and he busts out with this good old good liquor. Good liquor. Baby, and he said, we're going to keep it hood. And they was toasted with plastic cups. I fell out. I got a kick out of that. I really did. I'm simple. I got a kick out of that. So that was really cool. But like I said, I'm glad that all got caught on film so she could always relive that. That was really, really cool. Now let's talk about this flag that I was talking about. That old flag. So listen. Ashley goes over to visit Gizelle, and they're talking. She takes Dean with her. And I'm sitting there laughing because they were just talking in general, how Ash was telling her, about her little appointment and all of that, and that she needs to go ahead and take a vacation. So she's going to approach the girls with a girl trip. Well, of course, it has a little issue with it. First, old Dean was doing really good. Then he just snapped out. That's like Dean, okay? Snapped out because he's hungry and he wants some teddy. And she busts out with her, I was like, okay, Ashley. One thing that I couldn't stand, though. You went over to Gizelle's house. There are no babies at Gizelle's house. Gizelle has teenage children and stuff. And whoever else is at her house. You took your baby over there. She ain't putting down that blanket or not. She just took her baby and put her baby over there on that couch. I don't think so. People, see, I was funny acting. I'm funny style. I am. In more ways than one. I'm funny style, honey. And I would have never taken one of my babies and laid them or sat them on somebody's couch. One, because babies do their own thing. They might throw up. Or be spitting, when they get the teeth in, they slobber. So I'm going to protect you, but damn you, I'm going to protect my baby. A couch is where everybody sits their funky ass. You don't know what they do. You don't know whether people wipe it good or not. You don't know who and how many who's are entering in and out of it. I'm setting my baby on nobody's old funky couch. Not at all. Some people got crusty couches where they do a little bit of everything on their couch. You don't know what's going on, and you go over there and just put your baby down on that couch. I was like, ugh. Child, you don't know if there's DNA on that couch or what. Anyway, that stuck out. I was like, oof. Okay, back down off the soapbox. But don't boom, boom, bam, and I'm back. Okay. Didn't like that. I was like, oof. Anyway. I done got stuck there, child. Again, I'm funny style. Anyhow, but that was horrible. But I was laughing at Dean snapping out for that titty, honey, and Gizelle's face like, child, they ain't used to all that hollering around their daggone house, honey. So anyway, with the vacation... She's like, Gizelle let her know flat out, girl, we'll go to vacation with you. But Monique can't come. I said, oh, okay. No Monique, honey. She's like, if Monique's coming, I'm not going to come. Robin's not going to come. And 9 times out of 10, Wendy's not going to come. Child, she basically broke it down. She's like, Candace ain't going to come. Ain't nobody going to come but you and Karen. So basically, she was pressured into Monique can't come. I said, oof, okay, well, that's that. So anyhow, let's move on. So Robin was holding a photo shoot. All the girls decided they agreed to do photo shoot with Robin for her products, because on her website, all the pictures were actually of her. And she wanted to change that. She wanted to, add some flavor to it. And I understand that, because my website, at first, it was all pictures of me. And then I just decided one day that I didn't want the pictures of me up there anymore. And I went through, that was a lot of work, of actually getting rid of all the pictures that were up and reload new pictures. So I knew where she was with that. And then she actually did a photo shoot with it. So I was like, okay. But that was cool. All the girls agreed to do it. And while they were there, they basically told Wendy, that damn Gizelle again, told Wendy how Karen actually made fun of her while they had the conversation, because she told her basically, I blabbed and I told Karen about what you told me. And Karen was making fun of you. And I was like, this is just so petty. What are we, in the 8th grade? And of course, Gizelle put 20 on 10. She did. She put 20 on 10. And she had her basically kind of really thinking that she was ripping her. She really didn't. All Karen did was telling them about the conversation they had and how she called her ignorant. She called her ignorant. And she said she made fun of the way that she came down the steps. And it was funny because she did have her down pat. Well, immediately when they were telling her, Wendy was going off about her having these degrees. I got a degree, this, that, and the other. I got all these degrees and blah, 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 say blah. Karen ain't got no degree. Then she had the nerve to say that she never makes reference of her degrees. Girl, are you serious? Are you okay? We hear about these degrees every episode, honey. Every episode. Are you kidding? Shut on up, Wendy. Anyway, she went on to this whole thing about how educated she was and this, that, and the other. I don't bring up my education. No, there's not a time when you don't bring up your education. We're pretty tired of hearing it. But anyway, so she was saying that she was going to get Karen together. And Gizelle never tried to say, oh, no, it wasn't that bad, Wendy. It wasn't all that. She just let it stew. All of that. Karen ended up coming in. They ended up doing what they don't do. So then that's when they bust out. They talk about the trip and all of that. Ashley tells them where they're going. That's where the flag situation came out. She pulls out this flag of where they're going. Ain't nobody knew nothing. Ain't nobody said. I said, oh. And I'm looking at Wendy. You the smart one, ain't you? You the one with all the degrees, girlfriend. I know good and well you know about every flag there is, don't you, Wendy? But she wasn't saying nothing. Now, I believe she knew about the flag and all that stuff because it was Portugal. And actually, she said that the reason why she knew what the flag was is because she watches soccer. I know as many degrees as you got, Wendy. Girl, I know you just had to know what the flag was just at the sight of it. But I laughed at the other girls. They was like, when she pulled it out, she's waiting for everybody to be all excited. And they was like, so where we going, bitch? What is that? That was pretty funny. They ain't know what the hell. So what? Girl, what is that? So that was funny. But anyway, Wendy. Then Wendy finally says, it's Portugal. Shut up. Then she said, well, let's get this out of the way. And then she went and she tried to go in on Karen. Baby, when I tell you, Karen had another moment. Old Karen politely got Wendy right together. I said, 2 weeks in a row. Bravo, Karen, bravo. She got Wendy right together. Wendy got to tell her about them degrees, and Karen was like, first she was trying to intercept it, and she was like, no, let me go ahead and let you talk, and then I'll go ahead and I'll say what I have to say after you're done, because she wasn't shutting up, buddy. And you know she's the smartest one in the room. So she went on and she said what she had to say, and she told her, she says, well, let me tell you something, Wendy. I don't have a degree, but everybody doesn't need a degree, Wendy. And she's like, that's right, you don't have a degree, not near one. I said, it was ugly. It just sounded ugly. It just didn't feel good. And Karen told her, my mother told me a long time ago, everybody doesn't have a degree. Some people actually have common sense. Common sense is a saving grace, and you can't buy it. And I have it. And I am just a natural born entrepreneur. See, some people don't have degrees, and they just make it. I'm that person. You understand that, young woman? That's like, bravo. Okay. Wendy, with your smart ass, it went over your head and under your feet. You still didn't get it. And then she wanted to go the other way. And she said, you know, she said, okay, girl, you're doing too much. Karen, because she was still trying to go off. Karen said, let me tell you, you're doing too much. Let me tell you what I really said about you, because I didn't. And she said in her confession, she said, I didn't even get mad at Wendy because I know she's been led. And my eye right now is on Gizelle. Gizelle did this. This is not Wendy. Wendy is operating under what she's been told. I said, that was really smart, Karen. And she held that together. That was really, really groovy. But she said, let me go on and get her together, get her back on track. And she told her, she said, I imitated how you came and you slithered down the steps when you was coming thinking you was ready to get me together when me and Candace was talking. She said, I didn't slither, I sauntered. She said, no, dear. No, dear. You slithered, honey. And then she went to imitating her right in her face. Baby, when I tell you I fell out laughing, I said again, one more. That's 3 points now for Karen Huger, honey. Karen, girl, you wearing me out, honey. I used to be tugging and pulling that Karen. Miss Karen is carrying on this show. You hear me? She is getting the girls together. She was imitating her baby, and then next thing you know, all the girls was imitating how Wendy was walking. Wendy couldn't do nothing but laugh herself. She chuckled a little bit. She wasn't going to let her see her full gut chuckle, but she chuckled a little bit in her belly, and they was all imitating her going out the door. I said, oh, Lord. And they just ended up laughing it off. And I've been talking a long time today. Y'all got a good long one today, child. Some of y'all might have to watch this in 2 parts. I'm sorry. But not really. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, she 2 days later, baby Miss Candace got the message, honey. Countersuit. Did I hear an echo, honey? She sued Monique, and Monique sued her back, honey. Countersuit, filed charges against Candace, honey. When I tell you that Candace was mad as hell, I said, well, Candace, she said, the nerve. True, the nerve. You could jump on me and whoop my ass. See, and I keep saying that in every episode. You could, she whooped your ass, honey. Tore your ass up. I do take a lot of nerve to take and literally just beat a bitch up and then sue them. Who does that? But honey, she was so mad. She called her some old kind of bitch. I said, oh, of course, you don't want to know your ass again, do you, honey? But anyway, honey, Candace was mad. She's hot as a firecracker, honey. Chris was like, what did you expect, Candace? I was like, Chris is so cute, honey. We like Chris. But yeah, Miss Candace was upset. She was offended. I get it. As I think I'd be, girl, don't whoop my ass and then sue me. Like, who does that? Anyway, I done talked enough. I'm out of here. Like I said, this is a long video. Sorry, not sorry. I'll see y'all next week. Later. Thank you, YB the kid. Thank you, babe. Mwah.